Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to look at the market from a fundamental and technical perspective. So we are going to look at the biggest events that we have during the previous week and also what is going to happen during the coming week. So we had the Bank of England with the consumer price index. We can see a slight increase during this month. It was 6.8 during the previous time. This month came out at 6.7 and 6.9 it was the previous month. We are talking about July here, and the numbers for August were 6.2. So we can see a slight improvement in the inflation data. Also, for the other events, we had also the interest rate decision from Fed. They didn't increase the interest rates as widely expected, but as I explained also during the previous time, the only card that they had was the interest rate projection, and as we can see, they increased mainly all of them. However, what is very important and we have to be careful is because this is not uh, a final decision. This is just only projection. As we can see, they are changing these numbers all the time. So these are only plans for the future, but it is not supposed that they can respect this increase or decrease in the interest rate projection. Also, Powell said that this is not this is only a plan, so we don't have to increase or decrease the rates. We have to be very careful. Despite the fact that they stopped increasing the interest rates, this was a pause in the interest rates with a hawkish statement here, and it was the only way how they can have a stronger dollar. That is why they are still making these jokes with the interest rate projection. I still think that also at the close of the fourth quarter that it will be on the next meeting on January 2024, they will manipulate these numbers in order to have a stronger dollar again. However, let's go on. After the meeting, Fed was supporting the US dollar, so the market reacted positively considering with the US dollar. During the next day, we had the Bank of England interest rate decision. We can see that they stopped the increase on the interest rates. It was a real surprise during this moment because it was not expected that they will will stop the interest rates. However, they left the possibilities open. The governor of Bank of England said that probably we can take to increase the interest further if that is necessary. For the moment, the economy is showing signs of improvement on the inflation rate, despite the fact that they are still having problems in the economic growth. However, this supported a little bit the British pound, so we didn't see any big crash after this news. It can be considered small move, considering that the British pound is very volatile most of the time. So we have to be careful during the coming week. And we had also a pause on the interest rate increase from the Swiss National Bank. It was 1.75, the interest rate on the previous meeting, and they didn't increase the interest rate again. This was a surprise also here, and this is one of the countries that is not raising the interest rates. So this is very, very small compared to all the economies. And the first one is the Japanese yen, that they are not taking further steps at all. So let's see what is going to happen. We had also the Bank of Japan interest decision. They didn't make anything at all here. Also, they didn't share any future plans regarding the yield curve control. So it's very weird that they are acting in this way. We have to be careful if they are going to do any surprise. But so far nothing is happening, so let's be careful. So from the previous data, probably we can have a slightly bullish US dollar during this week, but it can be also a flat movement, so probably US dollar may not move. From the British pound, I would wait. It's not a clear situation. However, it may recover a bit. And for the others, I don't see anything interesting yet. Also, the Swiss franc already stopped growing the interest rates. They said that probably we may increase or we may intervene in the market if that is necessary for the Swiss franc, but watching at the current price reaction related with their currency, they are probably giving up from a stronger Swiss franc. So we have to be careful also here. So let's see what is going during the coming week. For the coming week, as I was looking before, it's a blank economy calendar. We have to be careful. Probably it can be a corrective week. On Monday, the data that we have are soft data. It is not expected that this data will create high volatility in the market, as you can see. On Tuesday, we don't have anything. It looks like we don't have anything from Eurozone here, so we have only soft data from the US. The market may not move, or probably we can see only correction in these 2 days, not big movements, small moves. On Wednesday, we have monthly consumer price index from Australia. This is normal that will create some volatility in the market. So probably the Australian dollar currency pairs will move here. The other data are almost soft, but the durable goods orders should create some price volatility, but not any big surprise here. We have also the Swiss National Bank quarterly bulletin. We have to watch, but nothing is expected from that moves. On Thursday with red, we have only Australian retail sales. The other are soft economic data. I'm not expecting anything big from those data. From Germany, consumer price index. We have to focus on this one, considering that Germany is one of the largest economy for Eurozone. This will impact the market. During the previous time, the yearly data was 6.4%. It is expected to decrease to 4.7%. The inflation data. It will be good if it will come in these numbers. However, this will impact euro probably in a negative way. So we may see euro showing some weakness after these numbers, if this will come in line with the expectations. However, we have to see what is going to happen. And also one of the strongest economic indicators, gross domestic product, the GDP from the US on Thursday. It's only on Thursday. It is expected an increase from 2.1 to 2.3%. We have seen that the US is doing pretty good, so the chances are higher that we may see an increase in these numbers here. Also during the day, we have Fed Chair Powell's speech. It is not clear the type of speech that we are going to have here, so we have to be careful. The market may focus on this speech. However, we already had FOMC, and I'm not expecting anything significant during his speech here. And on Friday, we have Tokyo Consumer Price Index and CPI ex food and energy. Definitely, this will create market volatility on early European morning. We can't see the expected data, but we have to be careful for any moves. However, the Japanese yen in many of the currency pairs is testing the highs, so that is another problem that we have to be careful. They are not reacting at all. And we have also the GDP from the UK. The problem with the GDP this time is that the UK economy is not doing very good, and probably this is going to create some weakness on the British pound. Retail sales from Germany is the same situation. This is very strong indicator also for Swiss franc. We have to focus on these two. And core harmonized index and consumer price for the month and also yearly figures. So here we have also the CPI data from Eurozone. So the only important data as I'm watching for today is only Thursday. The rest of the week is almost flat. We have to be very, very careful with those data. So let's see what is going to happen. So let's get back on our chart right now. Let's see one by one the dollar index. Despite the fact that we had a hawkish FOMC statement, dollar index didn't move more than the previous resistance zone that we are looking at, above 105.9. So this is showing that we have strong selling pressure in this area. And if we are going to look at on a lower time frame perspective, this is how the price is already reacting. From the previous analysis that I shared, this was transformed a bit. We are in another small pattern, but overall it's in line with the previous pattern that I shared. It was only a small transformation on the lower part of the pattern here, and we can see that we have this pattern that is taking shape. So under these conditions, the dollar index is still showing that we have strong selling pressure. It is not confirmed yet if the price will move down from the current price position. However, the chances are higher that from this area we may see dollar index moving down to the resistance zone. So let's see what is happening on the 1 hour time frame. We can see many ups and downs here, and this hesitation is showing that the chances are getting higher that we may see this move. However, this is with the current data, considering that the price didn't create any new movement above the structure for a stronger bullish wave during the previous time. The chances are very high that we may see the price moving down further, considering that the price didn't increase also after FOMC or during the next day. So this is what I'm looking at for the dollar index. This is increasing the chances for a minor correction movement up to, let's say, this area here, 104 or 105. This is a possible movement that we may see the dollar index during the coming week. However, let's see, without being very optimistic, if this is going to move down, we may see the US dollar getting weaker, but not for a long time. We have to be careful again, as long as this is developing more. Let's move on the other one. As we have seen, US 500 is moving in this area since a long period of time. Also from the previous analysis, as I have explained, we are waiting for a possible bearish move from this zone here, or as a maximum from the top. From the chart, this is the daily chart. Everything closed very bearish so far. From the previous analysis that it was shared in this zone, the price proved that it is already moving down. The first reaction that we had proved to be very strong. The first price reaction from 4,520 from our first scenario. And during the previous week, we are also expecting for the price creating something different. So this is where the price began the bearish movement. It was in line with our expectation, an increase, and it came down again. So we are watching only for a bearish move on the US 500. During the previous week, I was expecting that probably during FOMC, US 500 was going to increase before the movement. However, FOMC is still supporting the US dollar, and this created a bearish movement that is still pushing the price down further. So what may happen in the current conditions is the question. If we are going to increase the time frame, we can see so far that the price already broke down from the current pattern, and it is holding very strong below the structure area. So this structure is finally showing that the bearish pressure may increase during the coming week. The dollar index is showing that probably we may have a small weakness on the US dollar and probably a pause before the price will resume the next movement. However, US 500 is showing that this is increasing the chances for a bearish movement. That is why we have to be careful. Probably after any small correction, we may see the price to move down further here. Also on a weekly chart, this is getting clearer so far. We have a very strong weekly candle that already closed below the previous structure zone that we have. So look at how bearish is this pattern. So it means that even if the price will create any correction that we may expect this week, considering also the economy calendar that is almost empty, the chances will get higher that the price may continue. However, we are going to see this also during the coming week. We have to be patient. On a daily chart, the chances are very high. If this is going to begin the bearish movement, the chances are very high that the price may come close to the next structure zone. So this is the structure zone that I'm looking at for a bigger bearish movement. However, one step at a time. Also a pause on a small structure area here that we have can be possible. So we may see the price also extending up to 4,260 before it will create something different. So this is from a structure perspective how US 500 may develop during the coming week. The next one is Euro USD. This is also getting very complex. It is getting boring, but on the other hand is also interesting how the price is creating. So we had these weekly areas where the price proved to be very strong since the previous time that I shared the previous analysis. If we are going to look at on weekly chart, we may see that we have all the weekly points that are coming from the left. So we have very strong structures that are coming from the left side of the chart. This is showing that the current structure where the price is right now is very strong, and the chances are higher that we may see a possible bullish reaction. However, so far it's very weak. We have to be careful. Despite the fact that we had data, very strong comments from the Fed Chairman Powell during the FOMC, we saw the price breaking above the red zone from the previous analysis, but it couldn't manage to create something here or to take a pause, and it moved down again. We have to be careful. This is moving with strange waves. These are very small waves. The price is getting ready for any movement. However, taking into consideration also the dollar index, the chances are higher that it may develop in this area before it will create the next movement. It is not ready yet. However, from the dollar index, the chances are that the price may move up again. However, it is not clear under these conditions. Also, on a lower time frame, we may see that all these waves are overlapping with each other. This is another problem. And once the price will break through this area here, probably the chances will get higher for any of the moves. So let's see what is going to happen. And the next one that I want to share with you very fast is the US oil. I will also explain this with more details during the coming week. Price already reacted near 93.5, 93.6. As I explained also during the previous time, this was very, very important as price reaction. Price already reacted, and also on a weekly chart we can see that price closed this weekly candle. This is still showing that the price may continue moving down further from this point if we are not going to have OPEC manipulation. We have two consecutive weeks that the price moved down, two other candles that increased, and this is increasing the chances that probably during the coming week we may see a possible bearish movement. So the chances are getting higher that we may see an ABC movement for the coming week. However, it's a bit risky, but we have to see what is going to happen. So that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you. Bye bye.